No, no other pastries. And welcome to a new weekly vlog. I want to get ready because I want to film some like 2024 reflection videos, best of. I think I want to do my 4 and 5 star reads for the year. I thought that would be fun to talk about books a little bit more and maybe do one on resolutions and goals. I hope it's not too late in terms of doing like reflection content. I think today is like the 9th, but I don't know. I wanted to do it before the new year, but that week in between Christmas and New Year's, which I really enjoy, was just very, very relaxing and calming for me. I know everybody always talks about how this is kind of like a dead zone time, then it goes in a different pace than like time normally does. I really enjoy that kind of limbo. I feel like I am just kind of like soaking in the last little remnants of like holiday Christmas cheer before I actually start to really hate it. I'm actually still have all of my Christmas stuff up. It's probably not gonna get taken down until next week at the soonest. But especially with Christmas lights around my house, I try and keep those up because it's usually quite dark. And having Christmas lights just make it much more magical. I try and keep up the like white ones, the less like colorful, like traditionally overtly Christmassy ones. And yeah, I just feel like that week is usually really good for true rest, really reflecting, soaking in, and just like thinking about the new year. And with how my schedule has been, I just needed that like relaxing break, because then to be supercharged into the new year. So I went to a New Year's Eve party here in Seattle, and then my friends flew out to Las Vegas and I met up with them. I caught a 6 a.m. flight New Year's Day. So I pretty much just like stayed up, hung out with friends and whatnot, until 2-3, came home, and then grabbed my suitcase and drove to the airport at 4 a.m. It was actually a lot smoother than I thought it might be. I don't want orange, I want pink. And after I like rolled up and like got on the shuttle and was in the airport, I just really thought about how much I love solo travel. I love being awake and doing things and going at like odd times. I just love that like hustle energy, or that like momentum feeling. So being on like a shuttle at 4 a.m. to go to the airport was just, I don't know, just such like a joyous, quiet moment. And I'm very excited because I will be having some solo travel next week that I've really been looking forward to. I'm definitely somebody that really loves traveling with friends, you know, with families or my husband, but solo travel is so important. Some of my favorite trips are a portion of it being a solo trip and then meeting up with friends throughout the point. So that was like my Toronto Montreal trip. I showed up a day early and had Toronto a day to myself, and then had my friends meet up with me. Europe, I spent a week with friends, a week alone, and then a week with one of my friends. And Los Angeles, I was on my own, and then I drove down to San Diego to meet up with a friend. So that kind of stuff. I feel like it's the best of both worlds. Like, of course, there is the benefit of like being on your own schedule and doing everything that you want to do by yourself. But I really think that there is something that just pushes me in such a different way. Being on my own pushes me out there, and I don't know, just there's like a quietness to it. I do really like being with friends, and especially other extroverted friends, because Something I want to try and do more of is actually meeting and talking with people. When I was in San Diego, that's such like a very like friendly, chatty place to be, and I was able to meet a lot of cool people, you know, and whether it be for just that one bar that we're at or longer interactions. I had some like really fun conversations with people at hostels that I was staying at like in Europe. But after a week of traveling with friends, I am definitely looking really forward to this upcoming trip. This is my annual winter January trip. My mom passed away at the beginning of January several years ago. Her ashes are in the ocean, so I like to go out and travel to the ocean, and it being in January, it is such a perfect time for something like this. Like, it's usually half the time it's wet, half the time it's sunny, but there's such like a quietness to it, and there's also a difficultness to it that in terms of like physically planning a trip, that I feel like it pushes me in the right way. It's such like, this will be the first year that I'm not actually doing it on the day because it's also my friend's birthday. And so she wanted to do this trip, so I'm doing it about a week or so later. It's usually like a couple days after New Year's. In previous years, the new year doesn't really kind of start until after that trip, or it's kind of like, I don't know, it kicks the year off in a certain way. And there's this kind of like, my whole rhythm has just been much different than in years previous, because it would be like Christmas, New Year's, a couple days, and then I would go on my solo trip, and then I would come back and the year would kind of start and things would kind of have this like different momentum to it. I don't know if any of this makes sense or is interesting. And also, very importantly, this is a trip that I do by myself. The goal is to do water or ocean by myself on that day, and so going to the desert with a group of friends did not meet that criteria. But I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm doing a little weekender on the peninsula. That'll be its own video. I am really craving this trip. So I unpack, do laundry, and then repack my bag. So I'm really looking forward to this trip. And then I'm really just trying to be kind and gentle with myself in terms of like new year, new me type of stuff. I've been really reflecting about this past year and like the good and the bad and the things I want to change. There are a lot of things that I really wanted to kind of hit the ground running with, but haven't because of travel. And I think that's always kind of like a big challenge for me, is because of the amount of traveling that I do. And in January, there's going to be a lot of travel. So I try and like sit down and plan like, oh, you know, wanting to go to the gym again, wanting to volunteer at the food bank again, wanting to just be on top of a lot of my goals, and feeling like I just don't have time to put that in a schedule. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed with, I don't know, my goals and expectations. None of these things really have true hard time limits. But yeah, I'm just trying to, I think this year, I really want to focus on putting in the work to put myself forward and invest in myself, and actually like putting in the work and not doing like the easy things like scheduling massages and trips and all of this stuff, but actually putting in the more difficult implements in that will invest in my longevity and my my capabilities. 2024 was like a year that, especially during the earlier months, just kind of were like the buildup of feeling really weak and inadequate. And I don't know what has changed, but there is like a lightness now that I'm really excited about, and like capability, and I just don't feel as like I can't do the things that I want, that I won't be able to. I have my days, those feelings do kind of creep in, but there was just this time where I would wake up and there would just be these like heart clenches of emotion, you know, negative emotions. I feel like I'm putting less pressure on myself, and I don't know why. I don't know why now. I don't know why this is feeling this way, but I'm just trying to ride with the flow. I'm trying to focus on the avenues of my life that I really want to grow. Trying to be kind to myself, be patient, and allow myself. It's just always the difficult thing of like, do you push yourself or do you rest? Like, are you needing some fire set under you? Are you needing a little tough love, or do you really need to recuperate and you need to, like, are you burnt out even though you don't feel like the things that you do are that draining? Like, are you just tapped out? I don't know. I just really want to be positive moving forward in the year. All right, I have a little bit left of sunlight, and so I want to go ahead and film those other videos. My house is like slowly falling apart. Those are my Christmas boxes. The original plan for today, pack up Christmas and I don't know, just kind of get my bearings together. I have another trip coming up, and then I have the symphony tonight. But last night I went to a birthday party, and a friend invited us to a mochi making class on Bainbridge Island, which sounds really fun. So since technically I had free time, I said yes. I am very excited about it. I still have to get ready. I have about an hour before I have to leave. But yeah, I was just thinking about how, like, yeah, people invite me to stuff and I say yes. But I am feeling a little bit overwhelmed. There are a lot of house projects that need to be done, and I feel like that kind of steers me away from other, like, work and goals that I want to focus on. Like, half the lights in here need to be replaced now. My oven broke. Thankfully, I'm not really dealing with that issue, but it's just another annoyance. But yeah, it's going to be a full weekend. Mochi making class, the symphony, and then tomorrow I have a hike. I really need to do some stretching beforehand. I've been feeling really sore since Vegas and all of the walking and stuff that I've done there. Oh yeah, I want to start tracking my workouts. Just like, I do a lot of tracking. I want to start tracking my workouts, so I want to write that all out before I forget. I need to fill this out too. Like, I have like a meal chart. So right now I'm just trying to track whether I like eat at home, if I eat like convenience food at home, so like a frozen pizza or snacky foods like that, or if I eat out. Something very, very rudimentary. It needs to be simple, that way I can just do it. So same thing with, I want to do a workout tracker. So I'm thinking the goal is to do movement or a workout almost every day. And the other goal is just to visualize what I'm doing. And they say like the act of writing things down also improves your behavior. Like, if you are writing down everything that you eat, you tend to eat less or better just because you want to write down better things. So I'm hoping writing down my workouts will make me do them or make me more motivated. I want to track, if I don't do workouts, workout classes, hike days, and really long city walk days. Like, I walked over 15 miles the day that we were in Vegas on the Strip, because we just spent like 6 hours walking around, and that is a big day of movement, you know. So I want to write all that stuff out just to kind of get a feel with how like active I am. But yeah, so I'm gonna do that real quickly, and then I have to get ready to go to Bainbridge Island and make some mochi.
And then how many of you guys want how many to your table?
loud here, but hopefully you can hear me. I picked up a coffee. This is a Kobe Haven. It is almond and cardamom. So very excited. It's very hot. The little sips that I've had have been quite spiced. But yeah, otherwise we are going hiking and hopefully it'll clear up. It's pretty gloomy right now. This fog better pass. See an island. Oh no, now it got covered again.